Two hip chicks.
Boom. Hey everybody, I just thought I'd just bring everybody up at once and no like dramatically bringing in our special guest. We'll just Katie's family now, right? That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. Hi everybody, welcome to yet another edition of Finding New Music Mojo. I am Dawn from Two Hip Chicks, and this guy over here is...
I'm TC from TKR Video Central, and the woman below me is...
Katie from Vintage and Vinyl.
And Katie's here because we are talking Record Store Day, Black Friday. Katie and I are big Record Store Day people. We love doing it. And we thought we'd talk over some of the titles and get into the ridiculousness of the prices this year and a few other things. I'm actually hearing good things about it. A lot of people have had good word of mouth, but I didn't find that much that I was interested in. But I'm not into the heavy stuff. I'm not into the jazz. That seems to be the two big categories this year. So...
Well, I've gotten a little more into jazz lately, so I used to not go for any of the jazz titles, but now I'm just like, ooh, I think I've gone down a whole nother rabbit hole of collecting. So
it's very easy to do. Very easy to do. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so for those of you who are watching, and hello, let's see, let me go to my comment section here real quick. The angriest daughter, Michael's here. Hey, buddy, welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Michael.
And my lovely bride is here as well. Hello, darling.
Hi, Mary.
Hi to everybody. So, guys, if you want to follow along with this, I posted and pinned up in our chat. I don't know if TC did it in his yet. The link to the list that is Record Store Day Black Friday sale that's coming up. So you can take a look at the list. It's listed, I guess, by artist. Title, artist, label, format, release type, and quantity of how many they're actually going to produce of this specific title. So it does have prices, though. Not the list I have up. I don't know if you have a price list, TC, or not.
I don't have it pulled up at the moment, but yeah, I can get it if we want to look at it.
Okay, cool. No worries. So I'm going to let you kind of go through things and pull the screen up because you've got some control. I believe you can pull the screen up if you need to.
Yep, I can. Let me just finish the.
Let's go through his tabs, kids. No worries.
To my information.
Lots of tabs.
Find it.
Lots of tabs. So I know, Katie, you and TC are in a little more populated areas when it comes to a record store to actually go to and check out. And you have your favorites as well that are maybe not so close to you, but are good sources for getting multiple copies of things in that you might be interested in. I live in a very small community where we have a mom and pop record store, which is recently bought by another pop. And he does, I know he participates in Record Store Day, but that selection is really small because he's a very small store. So I would probably have to go someplace like Grand Rapids or, well, around here, it would probably be more like Kalamazoo and down in Indiana, South Bend, that area.
Right.
To find some of these if I wanted to go actually and find them that morning or that day.
Right.
So yeah, but still it's doable. And there's also online sales. If I have to, I could always go online as well.
Lots of online. I think several people the next day around noon will post things online. Several of the bigger record stores that have YouTube channels, they do that.
Dead or Alive is on the list. Yeah, baby. Bring on that Dead or Alive. For sure. So you go ahead and pull the list up yourselves, guys, because if we get on a subject of something and you want to see more, you can jump ahead on us if you have
go ahead. That's what
there you go.
What Michael's talking about.
Nice.
Let's see. They don't have the prices listed here. They did
Oh, that
have
one's a
them
picture
before,
disc
but
too. Nice.
and it's only 1,000 copies, so it's limited run.
Ooh, that's going to
Original
be tough.
focus. It's going to be hard to get. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Dang. Yeah, let us know if you get that one, Michael.
I think that
I'd like
the quantities are getting a little bit less, making it more exclusive, which
Yep.
is a good and a bad thing. Because as a collector, I'm like, ooh, yay, limited quantities again, like the early days of Record Store Day. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, that makes that really hard to
Yeah,
get.
then you're looking at the fact that it's limited quantity, but then you're suffering from FOMO.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't get something that you want.
exactly.
I'm not going to eBay and paying $500 for it.
No, me either.
No.
What's one of the titles that you're looking for, Katie?
So I'm of course interested in the Stone Temple Pilots Purple Rarities album. That one is quite limited. We'll have to see. I think there's only 3,000 copies. I
Yep.
looked. Yeah, man, that's
Dang.
gonna be hard.
Yeah. That looks like a neat one.
Yeah, that this album came out in '94, and having the re-release of it is really nice. Finally, get some of this alt rock pop punk on vinyl is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Agreed. Ooh, Rachel shows up. Hey, Rachel, how you doing, chica?
Hey, Rachel.
Time does fly. Exactly. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Black Friday cometh.
It does so fast too, and then right after Thanksgiving, we're almost into December. I mean, it's just crazy how this time is going.
It's a very short span between Christmas and Thanksgiving this year.
It's even shorter span between Christmas, Black Friday, and Kim's birthday. They're 3 days right in a row.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, oh no, forget Christmas. I got to worry about her birthday first. My first pick, and it's a Record Store Day first, and it's also already been out on CD, is the Christopher Cross Christmas album. I'm a big fan of his, and I didn't even know he'd done this. He originally released this in 2007. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. But it's got a lot of good stuff on it, and I can imagine he's got good Christmas stuff that I could use for my Christmas channels that are coming up, my Christmas shows. So hopefully
that was one of the ones that interested me because like we discussed a little earlier, there isn't a lot on here that I'm dying to have, but that would be one of them I wouldn't mind having.
1,200 on Record Store Day, and it's a first, which means it'll probably come out again within 2 weeks because it's Christmas stuff. So
is this on a special color variant, or is it just plain?
It doesn't say anything about a color variant, so I'm assuming it's black vinyl.
Yeah.
Does not mention anything.
If they're going to make it a first, I think they should make it on some sort of cool color variant and then release it as black. That's my little side note about that.
Especially Christmas stuff, which they could do red and green for.
Translucent red or translucent green would be killer for that.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
What else are you trying to find, Katie?
Okay, so another one on my list, and this one's going to be hard to get since I'm getting into jazz here. I've got to pick up the Max Roach if I can find it. I think there's only 2,500 copies of it. It's on Craft. I think it's a first recording. It's in mono, which is great. But that one is, I think, very popular amongst jazz collectors. So that one's going to be good.
Deeds, not words. Mono. Craft recordings. Ooh.
Well, Craft is really good, and 2,500, you might have a decent shot at it if it's not in high demand.
Yeah, but that one I really would like to grab.
Michael, thank you for that. Yep. It is. I think that's listed at 22.
That's not too bad.
I don't know what the price on this was. I didn't get a chance to see this before our show, but I'm sure it's going to be probably $34, if not more, because all of the Craft recording is always kind of expensive, but worth it. I mean, the quality is
there. Yeah, exactly.
And what you got to do, Katie, is get in good with Craft recordings. So they send you promos like they do Melinda Murphy.
Murphy, she gets so many exclusive like Record Store Day stuff promos.
Yeah,
man.
Always great, but it's of course it's always unnumbered too. So if it's a numbered set, she doesn't have a number, so that's never good either.
Right.
Let's see. My next set would probably be. I would like to get. So where is it here? The Dijo. This is Joe Curie's project. Joe, of course, people know him from as Steve on Stranger Things. He does dance music. I've heard the single in the beginning was out earlier this year, and it's really good. But it is a 2-record set, and and it is priced somewhere in the 40s, 42, 44, something like that, 47. So I don't know if I will go out that far for it, but definitely interested in it because it's the first time he hasn't released anything physical. I don't even think he's done CDs. I think it's only been digital so far.
Wow.
And it does say picture disc vinyl, which also I'm not real sure about.
Yeah,
they've gotten better on those, I think.
Yeah,
They have,
I didn't see as many
yeah.
on the list this year, which is good because I mean I understand there are picture disc collectors that would go crazy for that, but I just feel like they need to have some standard vinyl, which they're doing more of because picture discs don't sound that great.
Yeah. And you're always hearing about how people are complaining that they can't get their stuff in to get pressed because somebody's taking it over. Yeah. Let's take a look at the run for the Billie Eilish. It's coming up.
How many?
25,000, and it's only in RSD first.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And then she'll probably release something on her website too, like after the fact, which I heard people complaining about last year. And I don't remember the artist that did it, but they had like a record store day release and then it was limited and people were scrambling. And then literally like hours later, they released this huge drop on their website. And everybody's like, why?
Yeah. Hit Me Hard and Soft Isolated Vocals is a variation of the hit album with isolated vocal recordings showcasing the album in a stripped back and raw light and highlighting the power of Billie's vocals. Has a unique inverted album cover. It does appear to be black vinyl though.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
The 25,000 for a first is kind of nuts.
You got a buddy there. Sister Shirley's in. Saying, hey, Katie and friends.
Welcome, sister.
Yeah.
There it is.
There's a lot of 7-inchers out this time as well. I don't know if they usually do that many.
I feel like there's even more this year.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the 7-inch Beatles and I'm like $23. That's just so expensive. And then the Sam Cooke. I love Sam Cooke. I would always go for Sam Cooke if it's available, but it's a 7-inch single. It's a first, so they're going to have another release. And I'm not particularly familiar with the label that it's on. So I have no idea. There's only 1,500 copies. And I'm like, this is, I don't know.
Abco is the label that used to be owned by Alan Klein, the man that was behind the Rolling Stones stuff. I don't know who owns it since he passed away. I think his family took it over, but they're quality stuff usually. So, but yeah, 1,500 copies for a single, and it's going for ridiculous prices. So,
yeah. Well, there's like the Stevie Nicks 7-inch, the Lighthouse.
Yeah,
that's probably going to be a bit much too, I would think.
Yeah,
a lot of money for that. That looked interesting, but the funniest one for me is
it is an exclusive, at least though there, so you have an exclusive.
Then at least there's some value there, I guess. The funniest one for me that I laughed out loud at was the picture disc, 12-inch picture disc of Steve Martin's King Tut.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, why? Nobody asked for this.
It's like, yeah, did anybody really say, oh my God, you know what we need?
We need a picture. I'm like, no, we don't.
That was my favorite right there. I was like, I laughed. Yeah, that one. There you go. I laughed my butt off when I saw that.
Yeah, and I've watched so many videos on Record Store Day, Black Friday among the VC, and so many people have pointed this out, and they're like, why? And I just totally agree.
3,000 available, kids.
Yeah,
don't hurt yourself.
But it is an RSD exclusive, and it is Rhino, which means it's a quality product. So
Yeah.
Sure,
it
Rhino's
should
good.
actually be playable as a picture disc, where sometimes they're not.
Sometimes they're not. Yeah.
They sound just like static.
Jeez, I love that. $25 is nothing when Cheetos are $6 a bag. Yeah, no
Yeah,
kidding.
that's good.
True. And don't eat the Cheetos and play the music at the same time. You will get dust all over your record.
Yes, down in the grooves.
Down in the
Ew.
grooves, baby.
Oh no, don't do that.
Another one that I just don't understand is the SpongeBob and the Bluey. They're picture discs. I don't get it.
Yep.
The Bluey
no,
has gotten,
none of
according to
various.
Spin Me Round, they've had a ton of requests for it. And so
Wow.
they are buying these for kids. It is a 7-inch single. So is the SpongeBob, isn't it? I think.
I think
I have
the SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob is the 7-inch as well, I believe.
Yeah, let me go double check here if I can grab it.
No, it's an LP. I'm sorry.
It is
Oh,
an
I'm
LP.
wrong.
It's an LP.
7-inch. How did I?
Oh, it's
Where you
music
started-
from the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, in the movie. Well, there's a certain collector group for that. I mean, people that love movie soundtracks. We have at our local record store a group of people that come specifically for the movie soundtracks. They really like that. And of course, people that love, 90s, 2000s nostalgia that grew up with SpongeBob will want that. But I guess.
Oh God. I don't know if I like that nostalgia bit, Katie. You mean SpongeBob is vintage now?
Yes.
It's considered
1999
vintage.
it would have to be, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the 90s are vintage, which is crazy.
Ah!
Mary says you can get the CD for $3.49 afterwards.
This will definitely not
Truly.
be what I'm picking up.
For the vinyl purist, though, I guess you have to have it on vinyl. But I'm not that girl.
I'm not either.
that
So that's
girl.
why
I
I'm
will do
thinking
I'll do
some
the
of the
CD
stuff
if
I
I
would.
have to.
The one thing that I might actually boost for that's rather expensive is the next set in the War Box series.
Oh,
I have the first two, and I love the first two. And this one is the later stuff that wasn't really big hits on the pop chart. But it's 5 albums, so it's running $125 for the box. But the first one, which is all their earlier albums, and the second one, which was their 3 albums with Eric Burden, all sound fantastic, and they were all worth the money. So this might be worth it. And I mean, there's only 1,500 of it. So far, I've been lucky, haven't had trouble finding them, the first two. I don't know about this one. We'll see. But
I think 5 LPs for that price is really not horrendous.
Yeah.
It's a box set. I mean, this I think is priced accordingly.
Exactly. The first one was 100 with 4 albums, and then the second one, or 100, was it made up of 125 with 5 albums, and then this one has 5. $25 an album. That's not bad. I can do that.
Yeah.
But the only problem is, like, these are lesser known things from them, so I don't know if I'll like them. I don't know that I've heard them, but I like their sound, so it might be the one thing I might splurge on. But I want to keep those sets coming in because I have the first two and I don't want to miss one. There's that
you want to
FOMO.
have the whole collection.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's a budget breaker right there for sure. I can understand where you want to save a little money for that. Sister Shirley's asking, what is each of your most wanted unicorn to find? The one you're looking for. Your most wanted unicorn.
Question. Well, one of my biggest unicorn items I did find already, so I'm kind of lucky with that. I got the Marvelettes, Please Mr. Postman, original pressing on vinyl. I wanted the original, not any of the reissues or comp albums, and I was really lucky to get that. There's a couple of Christmas vinyls that I would love to have by some of the 50s artists that I just can't seem to find at a decent price. So that's kind of on my radar. And then there's a bunch of rare individual doo-wop singles I would love to have, but they're in the $7,000-$8,000 price point for one single. Yeah. So that's insane.
That is insane. That is crazy. But yeah, they're not that well produced, right? And they're now nobody's obviously they're not pulling them up for Record Store Day.
No.
Yeah. For some reason.
They should, but there's a very niche market, I realize, for that.
Yeah. the one thing, I mean, TC, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't let you put yours.
I got mine. Kim got it for me for my birthday. She found a Russian reissue of the Danger Diabolic soundtrack.
Mm.
And it is actually really good. It's got everything that the original soundtrack had on it. And I had wanted that for a long time. Now, if I were going back, the one thing that this is going to make everybody laugh. There are a couple of kids' albums from the 70s cartoon shows or children's shows that I wanted when I was a kid that I never have gotten. And now that I collect those as part of my collection, they reissued the Groovy Ghoulies album a couple years ago, which was nice, but they haven't reissued either the Bugaloos or Josie and the Pussycats, and I'd still love to get both of those.
Ooh.
How much are they going for online?
The Bugaloos averages around 50 to 70 if it's in near mint shape. Josie runs 300 to 400. It's very rare. It's rare more so because Cheryl Ladd is one of the three ladies on video. And and Michael's right. I do want kid video, but it's out there. It's $450, $500, and it's only in Israel. So it's impossible to get that. That's too much for me.
That's crazy. I don't really have one anymore. Truthfully, I mean, I'd like to get an original copy of, the Carpenter's first album, yada yada. But but I can get that. I just don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Offering's expensive too. So I never got the reissue, the Orange Mountain reissue of Koyaanisqatsi, which I wanted the soundtrack of. I missed it on Record Store Day 2020. And I'm not paying $150, $175 for what was essentially a $40 album. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been getting some of these Sam Cooke comp albums because some of Sam Cooke's original stuff is just in the $100 to $200 range an album, and that's not even mint. So, man, sometimes you just got to get what you can take.
Mm-hmm.
True. Now, the thing that I think is wasting people's money the most, besides the Steve Martin, is the Beatles 3-inch release of All My Lovin' with carrying case.
Yeah, those little 3-inch. I don't know who's collecting those.
Why? You have to have the 3-inch player first of all. So if you didn't buy it, you're going to have to buy it, and then this has. They've done 4 or 5 of these already, but yeah, I don't get
2,500 being released,
and it's the Beatles, so they'll sell out. They'll
sell out. The Beatles always sells. It doesn't. They could give you a Beatles picture disc that's $50 and someone would buy it.
That is just. I understand you probably should have the player or whatever, and if you're into Beatles, I'm sure that's the thing, right? You're the person that's into the Beatles. But
or just a novelty thing, it's like, I got this cool little thing that not many people know about,
It's this big.
But 2,500 copies of that. Wow.
I know, right? Well, there's probably 2,500 people who want it, I guess.
And it's also an RSD first release? That seems weird. Those are usually exclusive.
Yeah.
I thought they were exclusive in the past.
I think they were in the past. This one says it's first.
Wow.
No, maybe they're thinking of marketing them elsewhere.
Yeah. Like Target or something.
Yeah, maybe Walmart can sell them. I don't see how, but it's worth a shot.
Those are my two are you kidding me ones for sure. I'm sure there's others out there, but I didn't see anything that I really, really superly needed,
Yeah, I felt a little let down, honestly, by this list. I know Black Friday is always smaller release compared to the main Record Store Day in April, but I was looking through the list kind of thinking, there's nothing that if I didn't get it, I'd be just, beside myself. I do want to also possibly pick up the Charlie Patton. There's only 1,400 copies of that.
Yeah.
So, and it's an exclusive, so that might be quite hard to get. But I would like to have this.
Yeah, only 1,400, so that could be a bit troublesome. unless you're willing to wait in line from like 2 a.m. somewhere.
So why do you think it is that we're not seeing, anything that's really getting us excited on this list? Is it because we're older?
No. I think it's the type of music we listen to, because Katie loves her old stuff, her doo-wop and stuff. Me, I'm into the pop stuff. So often the lists cater more to the classic rock, the heavy metal, and the jazz. And I've seen a ton of record store video day videos for this that think this is the best list ever. There's so much jazz on it and so much of this or that. And I'm really just not that excited about it.
I mean, there's one live. I want to take something back. I did say that the live ones don't thrill me or whatever, because I'm just not that girl. I like, studio recordings. I'm not really into live recordings. But the Al Jarreau they have looks interesting to me. It's a 2-record set. Record Day Store first. Live performance from 76, which looks interesting. They released Steve Martin playing his banjo. I think that would be the one to get.
Period.
Yeah.
I can see that just sitting on record store shelves.
I'm thinking.
And I doubt any of the record stores are going to check that one as like, ooh, I'm going to buy this.
Yeah. So there's only 1,300 of those Al Jarreaus, by the way.
Ooh, wow. But it's a first.
And it's a first. So it'll probably be out later somehow.
At some point, yeah.
But yeah, I like Al Jarreau, and I would be an interesting one to listen to. So, but I don't even know what it's a 2-album set, so it's probably up there, probably $40-$50 or better.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, TC, with what you were saying about just the type of music that we all listen to is so different than the mainstream. When I watch all the Record Store Day videos that come out, around this time for Record Store Day from all the VC members, all the stuff they're excited about, none of it is actually on my list. And a lot of it's either jazz, which I now am more into jazz, or, classic rock stuff, which, I love and like, but I don't necessarily want in my collection, as I focus mainly on a lot of the older stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the two that everybody else seems to be really hyped on that I might be interested in would be the Ramones' Greatest Hits, because Kim's a huge fan, and the Cat Stevens. I'm a huge Cat Stevens fan, and this it's again, though, it's an RSD first, so I know if I don't want to spend RSD prices, and I think it's going for $38, and it's a single album. It's going to be a great album, but I don't know if I want to pay that much. It'll probably be at least $10 cheaper when it comes out after Record Store Day. So.
Yeah, easily.
So I know they do CD releases for Record Store Day as well. Like
sometimes.
On the list here, we have the Cypress Hill live at Rock and Park 1999, both on CD and on LP.
Yep.
See, another live album. I just feel like there's so many of them this release, and typically in the past, the live albums I've had, just the quality isn't as good. But of course, some of the companies doing these, the labels, it seems like they would have good quality recordings, particularly like the Bill Evans live and the jazz, or Whitney Houston I saw has a live album as well.
Yeah.
You've been burned by those live albums, though, I'm assuming.
Yes, but by one or two of them. I got a Sam Cooke one a few years ago, and it really just did not sound good. You could barely hear Sam Cooke. It sounded like something was rolling around in a tin can from very, very far away. And the way they mastered and mixed it, the volume of the crowd on the recording was so great that it overpowered the performer, which I just felt was a real disservice.
Probably somebody out in the with their little tape recorder in the crowd was taping it, and that's their master tape, is what it
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that sucks. I agree,
but it's something I'll never listen to again. That's just sitting in my
Did you try contacting the label and saying, are you serious?
No, I didn't.
This sounds like crap.
I've heard of people doing that, if something's come warped or like too much, they'll say, hey, this isn't good.
There was a huge problem with the Tamarind Hall that came out in 2021. A lot of people bought it and they were warped. They were pressed off center.
Wow.
Oh
And
gosh,
people
that's
were like, "Wow, okay."
well, what did they do about it? Anything?
They did that. I think they repressed them all and
Wow.
supplied them. I'm not
But they
sure.
didn't try to say, "Oh, that was a marketing thing that they did to try to get you to think it was a one-off and unusual thing."
Now, like, oh, you got this super rare warped record, and it's going to sound
Yeah.
funky, but you're the only one that has it.
Yeah, it's worth money, damn it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Katie, I'm just really looking at this. There are tons of live things on this list.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
just a bunch. Anybody in the chat? What is there anything on this list that you guys think is like, oh, gotta have it? I know Michael said one of those on there he was interested in.
Yeah, but that's you're getting a 7-inch single for $22.99. That's picture disc or not. That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. Now, there is one other I'm interested in. I think you were possibly interested in it too, TC, is the Carl Starling project.
Yep.
Starling project. I would like to have that. That's really cool. All Warner Brothers cartoon music.
I have the original of this on tape, and it is really fantastic. It's a lot of great classic cues from the various cartoons and such, as it says here. All really well done. Again, I wish it was also coming out on CD. I'd probably opt for the CD just to get the clarity of the sound, but I may go for that. It's 42 or 47, something like that.
2 LP
two records.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's still expensive, but for 2 records, I feel is not awful in price.
Yeah, it could be worse.
1, 2.
The several were last year were worse than that for just 2 records, like the Tiny Tim, which was $55 and it had $2. It was crazy.
I paid $58, I think, for the Sam Cooke release. I mean, yes, you got a bunch of stuff with it. It had like a reproduction concert poster and all kinds of like paper ephemera, and it was 3 records. But
yeah, that's something like that is cool. You get what you're paying for. Too.
Yeah, I was like, that's okay.
Oh,
but
Mary said, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. That's all I was going to say.
Mary said, I don't have to have it, but there is a Phil Collins 10-inch EP.
Yeah, these are live things from the board, which means it should have good sound, but it's a 10-inch, which is also a rarity anymore.
Yeah,
and
how many of those
but
are
it is
there?
an exclusive.
3,000.
That you should be able to get, hopefully.
Yeah.
Live
recorded during Phil's Both Sides tour in 1994. So
that would be fun. If we find it, we'll probably pick it up. The other one which kind of piqued my attention a little bit, not a lot, because I'm not big into Motley Crue, but they have a box set of their singles, 7-inch anniversary single box set. Motley Crue.
But still, 7-inch.
I think it's all pressed on colored vinyl too. If you scroll down, TC, it'll show you the records. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
7-inch singles.
So how much is this supposed to be, TC? Do you have that there?
That one I don't. I would have to look. I'll have to look it up. But I would imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 singles, colored vinyl, plus 2 exclusive adhesive bandages. Oh boy!
Oh wow!
And picture sleeves. I'd say it'll probably run at least 75, if not more.
That was for Dr. Feelgood. You know that, right? The bandages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh man,
I know. Laura Lou's here. Hey Laura, how you doing, sweetie? Yeah, Phil Collins all the way. She's on it. But Mary said she's not going to stand in line.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to go to Kalamazoo, or you'd have to go down to South Bend, really, to make that happen, because they're not going to have it at our record store. Our little.
It's a shame that you're not by a big record store that has.
Oh no, it's not. It's helpful for my budget and my pocketbook. That I'm not. Katie, this is the reason that I have money, I guess, because I'm not near those record stores. But yeah, I agree. It is a shame.
Yeah, because it's nice to get out on record store day, and I just love even if you don't go and buy a lot because the prices are higher. I love the camaraderie of getting to chat with people on the line, and
Oh
You
yeah.
know, to be a part of the rush, there's just a thrill to that. And then being in a record store on record store day and shopping their discounted bins are really great too.
Oh, that's the reason I'd be there most of all, probably, is just to be, hanging out by the discount bins. But I do the Motley Crue, Laura. I said I would. I would do the Motley Crue. But again, I don't know. Somebody's got to look it up for me as far as price, because I don't know. I bet you it's not cheap.
$139.94.
You're
Are
right.
you
It's not
kidding?
cheap.
For that? Oh, that's insane.
That's why there'll be plenty of them around later on. Maybe. I don't know.
That's coming
Motley
from
Crue,
the
of course.
Motley Crue website. So that might have something
Wow.
extra with it. I don't know. Rough Trade has it for $94.99 on Record Store Day, Black Friday.
Wow.
So,
For 545s.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And a
Color
box.
vinyl.
And a box it comes in.
In a box. It's a band.
And two Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. Ugh,
Wow.
this is
I'll
insane.
pass. I've got some Motley Crue in my collection. I'll just play the ones I have.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a completist. I don't need all that.
I feel like those kinds of things are marketed to someone that's like so in love with just that particular band, like the Beatles
Oh,
had
God,
that
yeah.
type of following, where someone's like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
gotta have this for my record room. But the rest of us, it's like, I don't know who's buying that.
Now that's a
The
good
Leon,
one.
who asked that?
Mary.
Mary. $26.99 for the Leon Russell.
That's not
through
bad.
Going on Rough Trade. They don't have this. Bull Moose doesn't have the prices up this time that I can find. So, and Rough Trade usually is $1 or $2 around the same as the rest of them. So,
I'm up for a road trip. Laura loves to go on road trips. I'm good for it. Check out other record stores. Heckin' yeah. I'm all over it. I'm all over it.
Yeah, that would be the best thing, is just travel the country going to record stores.
Yep.
oh God, Katie, you want to kill me?
I do it.
I wouldn't get past St. Louis.
That's true. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God, Record Exchange and the other place. I would not get past St. Louis.
I have never been in a record store so massive, but that Record Exchange, I could have spent 2 days in there.
Oh,
I mean,
easy. I'll bet.
easy. I mean, their floor of 45s went for eons. There probably was over 12 or 15,000. They said 45 just in the top floor, and then not to mention all the stuff and they had rare stuff that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I'll send
That would be
you
like
the video link, Don. You'll have to go look at that.
pitch a tent kind of thing. Yeah.
I spent
Go
so
ahead.
much money at that record store.
It's easy to do though when you find a place like that. Heck yeah.
It is, because they had all this rare 50s stuff that, you just don't ever come across. And the prices were, not cheap, but they were reasonable. And I was like, well, will I ever get this again? So I was like, no, gotta buy it.
As long as they're reasonable for what you're looking for and they're not overpricing for something that's not in the great shape, then you've got it good made. And they seem to be really good on that. So,
Yep, they sure did.
Okay, so go to Pearl Jam, the Record Store Day Song of the Year, 12-inch single on Monkey Wrench Records, 4,000, and Record Store Day exclusive. They released a limited edition 12-inch 45 black vinyl featuring 2 live tracks recording the first leg of the band's 2024 Dark Matter tour, Waiting for Stevie Live and Wreckage Live. And the name of this is, That's
12
just
inch. Just the amount of singles and live recordings is just crazy. I can't, and that's probably $40 because it's Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
and you get a double-sided full color poster of the band also.
Ooh, that's so exciting.
Well, yeah, especially if it's like, blacklight.
Mm.
I'm looking to see what else we got. There's some garbage. The band.
$22.99 at Rough Trade.
Okay, that's
doable.
Doable, especially because it comes with the poster. I think that's doable. I also have been seeing a lot about Bob Bradley posted about it too. He loves the Jazz Dispensary stuff, And I've never gotten any of their records, but this Golden Hour, I might have to go for that too.
Who does that?
It's a comp album, and I'm not sure. It should be in the last various artists.
There we are.
Yeah, they always have the fun psychedelic covers on the front.
We've got a good list of people: Johnny Hammond, Sonny Rollins, Chico Hamilton, Vince Guaraldi, Catalyst, and more.
Yep. So that should be good. But 4,000 of them on craft too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the sound is going to be excellent because craft is usually top notch. So
everything I've gotten from craft has been stellar.
Yeah, I can't complain about their product. Their mail order sucks, but because they lost my order and took 2 months to fill it. But yeah, but
that sucks. Now they get Tangerine Dream anniversary edition of the alive again, of course.
Another live,
but
their record store day regular is Tangerine Dream. They have stuff almost every record store day.
Yeah,
and it's usually live stuff.
It's a special tangerine colored vinyl.
Of course it is.
Yes, indeedy. I don't know. I was going to say, I can't really see anything else.
I saw also that they had a BB King live, but I would have grabbed it if it weren't live, but it's live. And I'm like, I just don't know, but it's on Elemental, which is
she's burned, I tell you, by these live albums.
I am burned by the live albums.
She's been burned, and she's not going to be burned again. Yeah, I looked at that
for the
one.
Tangerine Dream.
How much?
40.
Well, it's a double album set, right?
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No, that's not a bad price.
They usually do try to keep their stuff lower because I've picked up a couple of the Tangerine Dreams over the last few years. And it's always good quality, and it's usually lower price, so that's helpful.
Yeah. Yep. Anybody else have any picks on that list? The list is pinned at the top of the chat if you guys want to look at it, like we're looking through this one right now. And you can always, the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, they're always popular, so that'll be.
I think they do one just about every record store, don't they?
Huh?
They do Grateful Dead just about every record store day.
Yeah, at least one, I would think.
Usually a box set of some sort. Let's see here. And it is going to retail. Let me see here.
It's 4,500 different, items released there. So you might be able to find it.
$109.99 for that one, 4 records. So that's not too bad.
I guess.
That's not a bad price. I see the Doors are also getting a live album as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm not in love with Doors enough to do that. Yeah, live in Detroit. I'm not in love with the Doors enough to do that one either.
Yeah, I feel like you could pick up some other Doors albums and you'd be set.
Okay, wait a minute. It says 4 LPs, but they only have 6 sides listed. That's 3. What the hell?
That is weird.
Let's see. Blah, 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 blah.
I think there's somebody typoed something wrong there.
Yeah, probably didn't get on there correctly.
Yeah, they probably didn't put the title track listing or something up wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Favorite, Sister Shirley saying, favorite live album is Bob Seger's Live because you were there at the concert. Cool.
That's cool, Sister Shirley.
Listen, and you can hear them screaming in the background. You got to make some weird noise so that you can hear it in the live tracks.
Yep. So you get it back.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a Jimmy Buffett concert, and it was in Atlanta, and they were filming it for part of their tour video that they were doing. They were releasing some sort of thing, and that was cool.
That's cool.
Sister Shirley says, that was me.
Yep.
That was me. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else that really rings my bell here, guys.
No, I've looked through the list multiple times because I keep thinking every time I go back, that I'm just going to find that one thing that just so excites me, and I don't.
Yeah, sometimes they add on stuff later, but rarely do they do that with Black Friday. That's usually just the main record store day.
Yeah.
So
There's a T-Rex that looks kind of interesting, but then again, it's just it says LP, but there's like A1 and A2 is the track list, and that's it. One song.
That is just
Oh,
crazy.
there you go. I'm looking at the.
there you go. Yeah, it's full. And
there you
it's also a picture disc.
Picture.
Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah. I don't know.
And 1,200 copies, but RSD first, so it'll be out probably
Later.
next spring or something.
Yeah.
So I calculated there were 76 roughly exclusives and 64 firsts. So there is less firsts than there are exclusives, but I do feel like there's just still way too many firsts.
Yeah, last year it was running almost even, wasn't it, Katie, when we talked about it? Yeah.
It was.
So at least they came back up with the exclusives, because I think a lot of people were complaining about that last year too.
Well, that's kind of the fun for me of Record Store Day. It's like you're going to get this thing that you can only get, let's say on this day.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you can find stuff aftermarket, but and then you're, as a collector, it's just you've got this cool thing that's very limited that not other people were able to get. And I think that's kind of cool. So,
and like you said, if they're doing this first, at least they should do the first on a colored vinyl or include a special poster or something with it that makes it a little bit different than what they will end up at Walmart and Target. So,
yeah, exactly.
Because if it comes to Walmart and Target and then they get a color variant, knowing Walmart and Target how they are with that, or it's just black, then I'm like, well, I could have just waited and got something cooler.
You've probably gotten it cheaper too. Let's say that. Yeah. Really?
It's slim picking.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was on a couple of people's lists I saw on the VC. They were interested in that. I didn't know she did any singing, but that's amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, she's doing all Tom Waits songs, which is kind of frightening. It doesn't sound like. I mean, he is one of those eclectic songwriters that writes some of the weirdest stuff out there, and
well,
I mean, if you like that, that's cool.
It's on Asbestos Records. That's the label.
Asbestos Records.
Yeah.
And it's 2,350, which is an odd number.
That's an odd run. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very odd run.
U2 and Van Halen, says Laura. Yeah, they're live. I think they're both live albums though, and I don't know.
I know the U2 is live,
but I understand. Yeah, they're good. They're good bands. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'd rather have like a 180 gram pressing of Van Halen's first album or something than have a live of theirs. I'm sure they're good live. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I want to crank Running with the Devil on high definition vinyl. I don't know.
Well, the U2 is an exclusive. It's 20,000, so there'll be a ton of them. It's stuff they recorded for that album, but didn't make it on from the sound of it. So it is all new stuff. And the Van Halen is live in Dallas, 1991, which means it's not Van Halen, it's Van Hagar. And it's like, okay, that might be good if you're a big fan. I don't know. But some people don't like it with Sammy, so.
Well, he's not with us anymore, is he?
Who?
Sammy Hagar?
Eddie Van Halen's long gone, but Sammy Hagar.
Sammy Hagar passed as well, but maybe not.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I would have heard that.
You would have heard that one? Okay. I believe you. I believe you. I thought I heard it. Maybe. I mean, I knew Eddie Van Halen was gone, but I thought Sammy Hagar passed as well. Now to okay, Springhouse.
No, he just turned 77 though, so he may he's long on the tooth.
He's coming.
It's not I can't drive 55 anymore. It's just I can't drive. That's how that works.
Yeah, it's just kind of nuts. The prices and such. I mean, I'm really happy for those people who are finding this to be one of the best lists ever. Because it really, there's terrific stuff out there. If you are a big indie rock fan or a big metal fan or a big live fan or a big picture disc fan, for me personally, there's like 5 titles max that I'm interested in, and even those is not that well except the War. So
now you could get the Snoop Dogg on clear vinyl.
Ooh, hold me back.
Snoop Dogg, 2,000 copies only, and it's an exclusive.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's live, but
it's live, but it's on clear vinyl.
It's on clear vinyl. Yeah. I'm not enamored by the list myself, so.
And I wish they would release. I mean, we do get occasionally, Sam Cooke or things like that, but I wish they would release some of these older, harder to find doo-wop albums. I realize that the market for it's probably niche, but for the people that want it, I think it would be really good. And same with, I'm a big fan of all the 90s pop punk stuff, and I wish they would release a lot more of that, and they just seem to not put that on vinyl.
The pop punk stuff can sometimes be found with Fuzz Club, but the doo-wop, they need something like that for doo-wop and for people who have those, where they make them for the limited audience that they have and sell them at a decent price. It's a shame there aren't any out there for that kind of market, that niche market.
Yeah.
Well, it's surprising because last Record Store Day, they released the Temptations, and it's like, okay, I understand that the Temptations, when you find that particular record, it's usually scratched, and it's nice for everyone to get a clean copy. But that's just, again, clogging up the pressing plants with something that's super readily available,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Vinyl Richie, hi, how you doing? Birds, Buffalo Springfield live at Monterey is all you want.
You weren't happy with the list either from the sound of it, Richie? Because I know a lot of people out there have been saying, oh, it's such a great list. And I'm the pop guy, so I'm only looking at the pop titles for the most part. But there's a couple rock. I wouldn't mind, like I said, I wouldn't mind having that Ramones Greatest Hits because Kim's such a huge fan. But yeah.
I would have liked actually to see a few more holiday releases.
Yeah.
Coming close to the holidays we are. They have some, and like you said, the Christopher Cross one looks interesting to me. I know it's been.
There aren't as many as there usually are. There are usually more than that on the Black Friday release, and there's only just 2 or 3 this year. So,
Silver has, you're wrong.
Sorry.
Thanks for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. Not a very good list, he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, I'm not in love with live recordings. It's just my thing. There's only
you and me both. I'm the same way. So
yeah. I feel like last year they had at least, and I could be wrong, at least 5 different Christmas releases.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, not too many.
It's weird because they usually have several high-profile ones, although maybe because I know they had a hard time moving that Dee Snider, Lizzie Hale 12-inch single last year to the point where I was able to grab it for $7.99 on a clearance.
Wow.
And it was retailed at $19.99. It was, I don't know, maybe they've decided that holiday stuff isn't working.
Maybe. Although I would probably buy a picture disc of John Denver and the Muppets. I probably would. I'd be all over that, even if it was a picture disc. Yeah, but I don't know.
They could even re-release some of the classic 50s albums,
True.
That are just so, like Bing Crosby's Merry Christmas. I mean, you can find the reissue from the 60s, but the original's just crazy expensive these days. It would be nice to get some of that, out on vinyl again. I don't know if there's a copy of it at Target or any of those places, but I feel like that would do well for a lot of people.
My wife
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agrees. What I would like to see, okay, I'd like to end this real because we only got like 5 minutes. What would be the one thing you guys would like to see on Record Store Day? Doesn't matter if it's Black Friday or whatever, any Record Store Day. What is the release you'd like to see, format and everything?
Go ahead, Katie.
I
Katie,
would
go
like to see Bowling for Soup has their song 1985. They have it on CD, and I would love to have that on vinyl. I have one of their vinyl releases, but they need to get that on
That would be
vinyl.
cool.
Yeah, I support that.
I love Bowling for Soup. They're awesome.
Yeah,
I have almost all the CDs. Vinyl for me, I still would like to see a vinyl release of Karen Carpenter's solo album. And I still would like to see them do a vinyl release of Bad for Good's album Refugee from 1992. I love both of those. I have the CDs of both of them. Well, I have the digital of Karen, but I would love to see vinyl for both of them.
Nice.
What about you, Dawn?
Wait a minute. Silver Hair said Chicago 5, which is a great album. Yeah. And then a 90s Ramones box set, says vinyl. That's a cool one too.
Yeah,
mine would be also a box set, but you guys are you're gonna hate me. And I know licensing wise it would be impossible, but this is what I want to see. I want to see a K-Tel release a 10 box set of their 10 best compilation albums that they had out for the 80s, 70s and 80s. I would love to see that. It doesn't have to be colored vinyl, but it should at least be on quality pressing of each one.
180 gram vinyl and 45 RPM, right?
Yeah. Colored vinyl would be good too. Picture disc would be fine. I just want to see it happen because licensing it would be a nightmare for every artist that was on those records, but I think it would be amazing.
It would be amazing. So someone needs to get on the
Please, oh my God. All right. Katie, tell people where they can find you, sweetie.
Fantastic. I'm on Vintage and Vinyl, so you can find me on YouTube and on Instagram. And I also do a weekly podcast on the Weekly Speakeasy, so you can tune in there.
Sweet. Thank you so much for coming in. TC, where are you at? You're everywhere as well.
I'm at TKR Video Central on YouTube, TKR Mixcloud on Mixcloud, and a few other things are coming in the near future. I've got lots of projects in the works that'll be debuting over the next couple of months, including all my regular stuff. So
he's a busy guy. And you guys know, of course, we are on Tuesdays and Thursdays live at noon for Chick Chat. Thursdays, of course, is with State Sale Bingo. Wednesdays, we're on with Johnny on his Hump Day auction. Monday will begin. Now, let's not forget, Monday of next week, we will be back here with another guest talking about the same topic, only from the other side of the aisle or the other side of the counter, which will be someone who actually sells these things, which will be a lot of fun. For sure. So that's next week. We're gonna do 2 weeks in a row. So next week, Monday night at 7, we'll be back on TC's channel for that. We will simulcast. And then, of course, what did I forget? Oh, yeah, that's right. On Tuesdays.
I think we hit the button at the same time.
Yes, we did. TC's gets another penny for that one. Thank you, dear. Mary and I are doing Whatnot, believe it or not. 7 o'clock on Tuesday evenings, please, Eastern time. Please show up because we play records on there. We don't get hit by any nasty, evil copyright bugs that you get on YouTube. So we'd love to see you there.
Silver Hair says he likes your Coke trays, Katie.
Oh, thank you, Silver Hair. I like them too. They're fun to collect.
He has a heckin' of a collection, let me tell you.
Here,
thank you again, Katie, so much. Look at that. Look at all that. Your ceilings are very tall.
They are. I'm very fortunate because my walls are getting full here in my apartment.
It's amazing. Katie, as always, it's a pleasure. You are welcome back anytime. TC and I both love you very much.
It's so fun having you guys as friends and being able to do this on the show. I love chatting records. So this was so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Always, always. Everybody, thank you so much. We will be back, like I said, next week on TC's channel. We'll simulcast on mine as well to get another side of Record Store Day. I appreciate you all so much. Have a great night, and we will see you next week. Bye.
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 fixed.